Good evening, good evening, good evening. Jeez. It's Wednesday night. Colder, cold as a bitch out today. I was out on my bike. Wasn't really appropriately dressed for the weather. Could have been worse. Anyway, that's a whole other topic. You ain't here to hear that, right? I'm going to try to make this somewhat brief. It's kind of late. My sundowners is kicking in. So, it's going to turn out however it's going to turn out. In complete disregard of my attention. I saw, and God knows, don't even get me started on why am I even watching YouTube? Why? It's just become a bastion of poor information, in my opinion. It's just what a shit show. In this category, anyway, in this YouTube fitness category. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other really good shit on there. Good guitar shit, but. So I saw, God only knows, like I said, don't even ask me why I would even take the time to watch it. But I saw where Greg Douchette, because you can't look at anything in YouTube Fitness without seeing his videos pop up, because he shits these things out. Like, these dudes that make these videos like this, man, they're like, I gotta take another dump and make another video. You know what I mean? It's like some of this generic fucking commercialized shit music that people just pull out their ass and throw out there just to get something out there. I don't know. You guys might even like that. I don't know. So I saw Greg Douchette, or Greg Douchet, has been back and forth a little bit, which I'm sure both of these characters, for Greg, even though he's got a big audience and subscriber count, it gives him something else to make another fucking video about. You know what I mean? Give some purpose to his existence on YouTube. And the other cat, his channel, he's got like 20-some thousand subscribers. So when you watch his style and his approach, textbook, stir up controversy, call out people with big channels, all that shit. So the other dude's name is, I think it's Bart K. I don't care enough to go in and take a look and double check right now. I'm going to put his name in the topic of the video. It'll be Bart K or John Doe, whatever his name is, versus Greg Douchette or Greg Douchet. So I don't care enough to go look right now. That's too much effort involved. I've seen where they've been going back and forth. I just saw Greg. His videos mention him more on a first name basis. Greg has mentioned this guy a couple times in some of his video topics or the titles. And so I just said, fuck it, I'm eating my beef. Let me just click on it and see what's up. And I just clicked on it and, oh my God, the two of these fucking guys, Jesus Christ, what a match made in heaven. What a fucking cage match made in heaven. You got the one with the affectated voice, as an affectation, the put on squeaky nasal voice, that it's just his shtick. He doesn't talk like that. I've seen clips from him powerlifting, I don't know how many years ago, where he had an actual man's voice. So it's an affectation, it's his character, whatever. These whiny voice shit on, that shit's too high of a register. It grinds against a grown man's fucking, the resonance of it is just not welcome. And the other fellow, he's just like a real ray of sunshine, But basically the crux of their disagreement or whatever is, and they're very, the other cat is extremely insulting when he speaks about Greg Doucette, right? Extremely insulting. He says some horrible shit about him, Says he's a cunt and an idiot and I don't know what all else. But I think the main crux of their disagreement is dietary thermogenesis. You know, a thermogenic approach to dieting. And who's the motherfucking dude that's been talking this shit for years? Me. I know these other cats don't understand it. You know, I know like guys like Greg Douchette, maybe he understands it. But these guys are so set in the way that they do things. They found a way to do things. It works. So rather than to continue to refine and try to find a way that works better, you know, they settle on this. And you know how I feel about that. All of these guys, calories in versus calories out crowd, that they want to restrict calories in, and that's how you lose weight. You get a caloric deficit by literally eating less. You know, I've referred to this for years as the castaway approach to dieting, right? Tom Cruise, I keep saying Tom Cruise. Why do I always say Tom Cruise? Tom Hanks, when he was in that movie Castaway, and he's stranded on this deserted island, and so he loses a lot of weight. Yeah, for starvation. It's a starvation approach to dieting. And I've always, thought, where would anybody get it in their head that they're and then lo and behold, they're correct because there is a market for it. But where would they even have occurred to them that, hey, there's a market for me to teach people how to just starve off body weight? You know, and one of my primary complaints about it is it's not as specific, you know. If you have a more thermogenic approach to dieting, understand the thermic effect of food, and then there's exercise-induced thermogenesis and every other thing you go. There can even be environmentally induced thermogenesis, right? But right now, the beginning of it, the nuts and bolts of the initiation of the diet is dietary, a thermogenic approach to your nutrition, dietary thermogenesis. And that's how I do it. I do it in stages, right? Write your diet, 2-week check-ins. First 2 weeks, I'm looking for a weight loss between this and this. And it's pretty varied, you know. And that weight loss, you're eating more food, literally eating more food than you previously ate. But what kind of food? There's your difference. What kind of food? So I've been doing this for a long time. I mean, this is what I've been, and these other guys, I had initially when I first started talking about it on YouTube, I had people make fun of it. That it was the Hogwarts approach to dieting, you know. Well, since then, they're not saying shit like that anymore, right? Because they just made themselves look like fucking imbeciles. Because it's like, if you don't really understand the thermic effect of food, dietary thermogenesis, and then there's other types of thermogenesis as well, then what do you understand about nutrition in the human body? You know, you're making yourself look bad. If I didn't understand it, I would just back off the topic. You know, stick to what you know, man. And if what you know is the castaway starvation approach to dieting, then that's what I would talk about. So the crux of the beef between the Mr. K, Bart K, and Mr. Douchette is, you know, Mr. K apparently thinks Greg is an imbecile because he doesn't know how to diet, and because Greg is your typical starvation guy. That's how I see it. To me, that's how I see it. It's checkers versus chess. Now, the way that I diet, my nutritional intake for myself and for anybody that I would work with, and I have had mad success with diets. Does it work with 100% of the people? It does not. Does it work with 85% of the people? Abso-fucking-lutely. Some people, and most people in fact, it works like fucking gangbusters. But the problem is, you can't really be sure statistically how it's working out because people lie to you, man. People don't follow direction. If they don't understand all the nuts and bolts of it, depending on their personality type, it can be difficult for them to just follow what you're telling them, although that's what they paid you for. You know, and they will, if they had followed it through, they will learn and they will understand it by the end. And that's where you get to, and that's the sustainability in it. The sustainability is that you're going to be able to, we're going to go from here to here and we're going to drop body fat. And if we're lucky, we may even gain a little bit of muscle. We may even gain a little bit of muscle, and in most cases we will. But it's going to change after that, but now you're educated and you understand the nuts and bolts of the how and the why and what foods have generated what response in your physiology, in your body. So you're able to duplicate that, because now we're talking a maintenance thing, right? When we're on a diet, and again, the one cat, he has a tendency to be quite literal, right? Like if you say, oh, the guy lost a ton of weight on his diet, to him, oh, a metric ton is, that's impossible. You know what I mean? Very literal. So when I say diet, damn it. When I say diet, it actually, I'm referring to a period from a window from this time to this time where you've decided, okay, I'm going to orchestrate my nutritional program, and it'll correlate to your physical program as far as your training, your cardiovascular component, all this other shit, with the desired target that I want to reduce a certain amount of body fat. I want to drop a bunch of body fat, whatever that may be. But then eventually, right, it becomes sustainable because as we go, we're going to make changes in the diet as is necessary to keep stoking that furnace and to keep things working along. Then near the end, where you get to where you want to be, I always like to take people a little bit leaner than what they're going to walk around every day at. I like to get a little bit leaner because there's a rebound thing that your body tends to want to go act like that because you've just challenged homeostasis, and the body's going to reestablish homeostasis, and it's a whole bunch of shit. Homeostasis works for and against you. It can always work for you if you understand it. But and I do. But so I don't want to overcomplicate this video and drag it out, because I could talk about this fucking shit all night, and that's not going to do you any good or me, and it's not going to do the message any good, because I'm not going to achieve what I'm trying to achieve here. All I'm trying to say is these two guys are beefing it out, and really my approach isn't like either one of these two guys, but my approach is more along the rails of what this other guy is saying, because I understand that I can always starve my fucking self and I'm going to drop body weight. I can always starve myself. I'm going to lose muscle, I'm going to lose fat, I'm going to drop body weight. You know what I mean? Who needs somebody to tell them that that's a thing? Hey, don't fucking eat, starve yourself and go hungry, and you will lose weight. Underfeed and you'll lose weight. Of course you will. So especially for a bodybuilder, I can't even believe, the actual bodybuilders still are following the starvation approach. I know a lot of guys that are more thermogenically inclined now. That happened for years. Years. I didn't invent this shit. I learned it. Fucking over a decade ago. Anyway. So this approach works not just for regular people, but it works extremely well for people that are concerned with the composition of their physique. The ratios, fat to muscle, right? Works extremely well. So I definitely don't do the starvation thing, the reduce calories in, because it's a lot more complicated than that. You don't have to reduce calories in. But where I differ with what the other guy says, I haven't watched his videos. I don't like his fucking delivery any more than I like Greg Doucette's delivery. I can't watch his videos. It just grates against my soul, that voice. And so my approach is not Greg's, for sure, because a lot of people do things that way. Starvation dieting, a castaway approach to dieting. And my approach is not this other guy's either, because apparently, I haven't watched his videos, I'm going off what Greg said in the pieces of video that Greg showed of the other guys, that he thinks it's terrible to eat fruits or vegetables and things like that. I eat a fuck ton of fruit. I eat a lot of fruit. I don't pay any negative fucking, I don't have any negative effects from eating it. I only have positive effects. I eat plenty of strawberries. I eat strawberries every fucking time I eat fish because of the mercury content in the fish. And I eat a shit ton of blueberries. I'm all about the antioxidants. I eat literally, well, he's literal. I don't literally eat a ton of blueberries, but I eat a lot of blueberries. I eat probably a pint of blueberries, at least a pint every other day, at least. So I eat a lot of blueberries, antioxidants. Anyway, so we have my approach, but all I'm saying is, why argue over it? You know, Greg's approach works. Don't eat as much, you're not going to weigh as much. You know? And again, then yeah, you could argue, well, it depends on what foods. A calorie is not a calorie, but to those who believe a calorie is a calorie, they literally believe you simply just don't eat as many calories and you're going to lose weight. Okay, fine. I don't give a fuck. Let them do that. Everybody's been doing it forever and ever. Let them do that. And the other guy, he doesn't eat or believe in eating, apparently, fruit and whatever else. His approach isn't my approach either. But what I am saying is, fucking absolutely, you can take in more calories eating daily and absolutely lose weight. I do it all the time. Everybody that's ever dieted with me has done it. Initially, they can't even eat all the food. They have to work up to being able to have the ability to actually consume the entire diet. Because another thing I've recently discovered is people actually write diets, which they're paid to write, and they don't even tell you what foods to eat. I don't even get that. So I don't know. I must be missing out. It's a good thing to actually have a fucking trade, because apparently it's unusual the way that I do it. I actually literally write down every crumb that you eat and when you eat it. Now I may say, hey, you can substitute, you can switch around meal 5 and meal 3, or what that order can change, but order can't change in all of them. And I write everything you eat and change it as we go, as is necessary. Adding cardio as ever is necessary as we go. But initially it's all about the diet, because I need to see the diet work in and of itself as the only change in your life for that first 2 weeks. And you eat more food and you lose weight. And I'm not talking about a little bit of weight. And why? Because you've challenged homeostasis, man. You've knocked that fucking shit, you slapped it upside his head and it's a bit in a tailspin. You move on from there. Anyway. So, yeah, it's a non-issue. You got two guys with two different approaches. Who gives a flying fuck? Even if I were to sit here and debate it with somebody and really get into it, who the hell knows if you're explaining it properly? Because the reality is, even studies that come out today, by 10 years from now, the majority, 75% of the studies will be obsolete. Because there's some pathway or there's something we didn't comprehend or understand or we had wrong about it. There are very basic things about the human body and physiology right now that we still don't fucking understand. That we theorize, but we're not sure, and we're always learning more. So, if it ain't broke, don't break it. If it works, it fucking works. Just saying. Me, I'm a thermogenic guy. No surprise. Videos go back 6 years talking about it. Many videos in great depth. With citing studies and every other thing. That's why I don't do it anymore. And if you ever dieted with me, then you know how it is. Anyway, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to go kick back, watch some television. I'm good and full as a tick. I'm looking full as a tick, And that's that. That's my evening for me. Not much happening tonight. Worked out last night, bone tired, kind of. And I got videos to put up. I don't know if I'll get this one up tonight. I got a badass training video to put up from yesterday too. Anyway, you guys take care. Have an awesome, outstanding, wonderful evening. Pleasant dreams to you all. May you all wake up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to take on and conquer the day tomorrow. And I'll see you again when I see you.